Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm out here in the woodlands. As you can see, it's really foggy and it's a bit frosty as well. So as I was walking in here, I saw these kind of frosty holly bushes. So I thought that'd be a nice kind of first shot to get warmed up. I'm shooting on the Canon EOS R with the 16-35 f2.8. So I'm probably going to shoot this at f4 instead of f2.8, just because I want a bit more in focus. I've accidentally left my 2-second timer on. I'm going to change to low speed continuous. Probably have to bump my ISO up to like 400 because I literally did not realise my shutter speed was on 1/15. Or I might have to go even higher actually, go to 800. There's quite a nice tree behind it, so I'm going to try and do like a portrait one and kind of get the tree details in. I think 1/125 shutter speed should do for that. Alright, so for the next shot, I found this kind of broken bit of tree. And when I'm doing woodland photography, I kind of like a bit of story to the image, because it can be a little bit boring if it's just like a plain tree. So I quite like this one because it looks, you know, you can see there's some sort of story going on. Alright, so originally I was going to photograph the tree that it's actually leaning on, but I quite like this composition I just found with the trees in the background. So I'm going to shoot this at f7.1 and ISO 100, and my shutter speed comes out to 1/4. So that's why I'm using the tripod here. One thing I always forget when doing woodland photography or just any landscape is that I use a tripod and lower my shutter speed and think that it'll be sharp, but it blurs out the kind of motion in the leaves. But today it's really still, so 1/4 is perfectly fine. I'll just take one a little bit brighter, and I might get one in landscape too. I might be out of frame here, but I'm basically getting a landscape version of this and kind of including that tree that I said I wouldn't include. And again, same settings as usual, 1/4 shutter speed, 7.1 aperture and ISO 100. Alright, so I walked a bit further down and I just found this like broken tree. It's like totally ripped out of the ground. So yeah, I couldn't help but photograph this because it looks pretty cool. Composition wise, this one's a bit tricky. I think I was originally going to go like quite wide, but I think a tighter shot would look better on this. It is a bit brighter down here, so I'm going to go 1/5 on the shutter. Alright, so I just changed the camera angle because I keep setting up the camera before I set up the camera for my shot. So then I end up off screen. Yeah, so what's going on now is I found quite a nice composition with this kind of log on the floor leading into the stumpy thing. And I'm shooting on like 20mm, f7.1 again, 1/6 shutter and ISO 100. And I'm also, because I'm quite wide, I thought I'd get 2 focus points. I've got one on the actual tree stump thing, and then I got one on the log in the foreground. Later on, when I'm editing, if I feel like the foreground's kind of blurry, I might blend those different focal planes there to get a more kind of in focus shot. So I thought I was finished with this tree, but I just came around the other side, and yeah, it's quite nice kind of getting the actual tree itself leading into kind of that tree there. I think that'll be a nice composition. So again, I'm kind of focusing on the actual stump, and then I might get one focused on the background as well in case I want to blend. And I'm also taking some different exposures just in case when I'm editing one looks better than the other. But generally I expose kind of slightly under for my subjects. I might get a little bit closer. Alright, so I found another fallen tree, and at the moment I'm standing on like a big abundance of like branches and stuff, so it's not very stable, but making sure not to fall over. And again, probably use the same settings. Honestly, f7.1 kind of is an aperture that does everything. Just take a couple because I am on an unsteady surface right now. Oh, I think that should do. Wasn't a crazy shot. So I'm going to photograph this branch kind of arching over here because it looks quite nice. And I've got the right hand side of the branch with that kind of fog in the background. So that kind of brings out that branch. And then this left side where it's touching the floor, I've got a bit more fog in the background, kind of bringing that out as well. Now I've actually got this exact shot before, if you've watched the first video on my channel, which is like a woodland video. But yeah, I thought I'd get it again just because it's such a nice shot. Settings wise, I'm just using the same settings again, f7.1, ISO 100, and then just changing my shutter speed to expose it properly. I think I might swap lens just so I can get some different shots. My ideal way of changing lenses is just like take one off and put the other one on as soon as possible. Just like that. Alright, so I've got the 70 to 200 on now. And what I like to do with this lens is kind of get like abstract shots of trees close up. Alright, so for this shot, I'm actually going to shoot a different aperture for a change. I'm going to go for f5.6. And the reason for that is because there's kind of this like, oh, I'm so bad at names. What's it called? Like, no, they're like ferns in it, dead ferns. So yeah, they look quite nice in the foreground and it creates a bit of depth. So yeah, using f5.6, I can kind of get a little bit of depth there. I'd say the hardest thing with woodland photography is probably composition. And this shot is probably a really simple composition, just using the rule of thirds really. But kind of having that foreground to create a bit of separation and depth. And the fog does help a lot. That's my number one recommendation, come out when it's foggy. It'll make it a lot easier. I'm gonna get one in portrait as well, but I'm gonna isolate the tree, so just get that one tree I was photographing on its own. So I've come out onto the main path, and for some reason it's a lot foggier out here. I think it's because there's like bits of water and kind of in these ditches. Why did I just say water in like a really Bristol accent then? The water. Kind of wanted to get like a simple shot of this tree here. I really like the kind of orange leaves it's got on, and just the general shape of the tree. Might actually kind of get one where it's the tree's on the left hand side of the frame, and then you've got all this kind of frosty bush on the right. Wasn't what I was going for originally, but I think it looks quite nice. I might shoot this one at f11, just because it's quite flat. Alright, so I think I'll go for my original composition now, which was kind of like a standard zoomed out shot. Get a little bit of the path in. Shoot this one at f7.1. Yeah, I do think I like the first composition, but you know, I've got that one in case I want to use that. Alright, so I've literally just like turned around and I've seen another sort of tree on the side of the path. I'm just going to shoot this one at f7.1, ISO 100, 150 shutter. Might shoot it a little bit darker. It says it's exposed, but I think because it's so foggy, the camera's kind of confused at what's exposed and how to expose it. Yeah, on the screen it does look a bit overexposed. So I'm going to shoot at 1/60th, and I might do one at 1/80th as well, just to be safe. And then when I get on my computer later, I'll actually be able to judge which one's properly exposed. You know what, it might actually be a little bit too foggy. Like this shot I quite like with the branches, and then you have some trees behind. But I can actually barely see the trees behind. Or even the tree. But I'll shoot it anyway. Yeah, I think that'll do. Just a quick snapshot. Don't think it's a great image. Alright, so this could be my favourite shot of the day. What I'm thinking of doing is getting this kind of frosty tree branch thing in the foreground, and then that tree in the background. I've extended my tripod to its maximum height, and I don't know how this is going to work really. Kind of like that, I think. And then I can also extend the actual like pole itself. Shoot this one in portrait. I need the camera more on this side, I think. Maybe if I lower this leg, that leg can go on the actual branch or tree. It's not really a branch, is it? It's more of a tree. It's pretty big. Now I've got more of a central kind of leading line shot, which I was going for. Got the tree central. Zoom out a tiny bit. I'll shoot this at f7.1. 150 shutter looks good. Then I'll focus on the branch because it is quite a wide shot, so you will get a bit of depth of field in this. And then I can stack those two images there. Right, I'll get a little bit closer now, see if that looks any cooler. I'm shooting this all the way at 16mm. I do them on landscape as well. I think landscape looks a bit better when I kind of have the tree on the right side of the frame and then this kind of leads in. I don't even know why I'm putting the leg on there. It's just unnecessary at this point. I'll shoot it a tiny bit further back as well because I've kind of got the tree cropped off a little bit. But yeah, I think that'll do for that tree shot. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, that's like probably my favourite composition I've got today. All right, so I just noticed some like ice in this little pit of water, and I thought get kind of like a top-down view of these leaves kind of sitting on this ice. It's quite nice, abstract bit of texture shot. I just need to find a way to kind of get my tripod in position here because it's kind of awkward. I could shoot it handheld, to be honest. I think I might just do that. It's too awkward with the tripod. And it is a top-down shot, so I don't need like a crazy aperture. Oh, that was a workout, that was. Alright, I don't know what I'm photographing here, but this kind of bit of water and the frost on this looks kind of cool, so I think I'll try and kind of capture that. It might be a little bit hard there. Yeah, don't ask me why I'm doing this to my tripod. This is just pure laziness. I'm going to shoot this one at f11. I think this scene kind of looks good, like I like this little bit of pond, but I just don't. It's quite hard to capture really. Like I don't know what kind of composition to get or anything. This actually looks kind of better here. Now I might actually change my, actually no, I'm lazy. I'll keep my tripod like this. There is actually a bit of motion in this kind of thing I'm photographing, this bit of grass, so I'm going to put my ISO up to like 400. Then I'm going to come down to f9 and then I'm going to go 1/100. That should be enough to kind of freeze the little bit of wind blowing this bit of grass. That's something I always kind of forget is leaves are moving, because when you're photographing the tree you're like, oh yeah, the tree's still, but the leaves are moving. Might actually go a bit closer, as I just got a quick shot of a guy going down the path. Yeah, it always looks better with like a person in the shot. It just gives the tree some scale. I'm going to go 1/13 shutter, f11, ISO 100. Yeah, so while I look for my next shot, I just want to say a few things. If you wonder what gear I use, I'll link all of it in the description. I've got affiliate links, so I've got Amazon affiliate links if you want to buy through Amazon. That will be at no extra cost for you, and it will support the channel. And there's also MPB, which is where I buy pretty much 90% of my gear. You can get stuff for a lot cheaper on there, good quality. I've been using it for probably almost 3 years now, and I've had no problems with MPB. Not sponsored or anything, I just really recommend MPB. But yeah, that's an affiliate link in the description, so if you ever think about buying gear and you want to support the channel, just use my link in the description of every video, and I'll get a small percentage of what you buy. So yeah, I'd highly appreciate that. Anyway, enough of that talk, onto the actual video. Right, so I just came out to this opening, which comes to some sort of like empty field. It's probably the foggiest fog I've seen in a while. Might get these kind of like trails going off into nothing. There's just these lines from the field leading into the fog, which looks pretty cool. Might as well just get one of this sort of side road thing. There's not much I can do composition wise. That's like incredible. I quite like this tree up here, and the fog looks quite decent on it, so I'll just position myself so the branches look kind of cool. I don't know if you can see me because I'm kind of ducked behind the bushes, but for this shot I'm kind of shooting branches against the sky, so it's a bit of a high contrast scene, so I'm having to kind of expose more for this sky. So I'm gonna, yeah, 1/80 looks good. Pretty simple shot really. But while I'm here, I'm gonna get a picture of this spider web because it looks pretty cool. I think I might shoot it handheld. Try to get that green in the background for some contrast. And go ISO 400 just to get a bit more shutter speed. I'm going to shoot one at f2 just to see what it looks like. Well, I think that'll do. Yeah, so that's it for today's video. Got quite a few foggy shots there. Hopefully it's foggy again soon. But yeah, with all that said and done, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.